And so you will see or hear a lot of people, specifically online, talk about insulin. And insulin is really important as a metabolic hormone, and it's not the whole picture. So, the focus on insulin as the ultimate key to controlling blood sugar, weight loss, and energy is missing a very critical piece, and that critical piece is leptin. Because leptin is that master hormone. And when I teach about leptin, I say leptin is that hormone that doesn't tell any other, like leptin tells all the other hormones what to do. There's no hormone that tells leptin what to do. So, leptin is actually a circadian signaling hormone. And like I said, it's a master regulator. And guess what? One of the things is that does influence leptin is sunlight. So, you've heard me talk a lot in recent episodes about getting morning sun, being outside more, exposing yourself to natural light, protecting yourself from blue light at night. And this is one of the main reasons why. And so, in fact, when you go and have blood work done at your doctor, you're typically having a fasted glucose done. Maybe you're also typically having a hemoglobin A1C done. And maybe you are having a fasted insulin done. I definitely ask that all of my clients get a fasted insulin done if they can. And you can actually test leptin in the blood. And you don't always necessarily need a blood test. Like I said, I've actually not tested my leptin. I knew I was leptin resistant based on some other markers and just what I was experiencing. And just like you can become insulin resistant, you can become leptin resistant, and that leptin resistance precedes insulin resistance. And so I've actually seen blood work where someone's fasted glucose is within functional range, A1C within functional range, insulin within functional range, and they still can have a leptin issue. So instead of obsessing over insulin, let's start to focus on creating a leptin sensitive environment to support both leptin and insulin function. So, like I said, a common thing of women coming to me is like, I am doing all the things and they are not working. And again, my mind automatically goes to leptin. And one of the most common patterns that I see is a combination of restriction. And that isn't always necessarily caloric restriction. It could just be food group restriction, quite honestly, or food restriction in general, and overtraining or over exercising. And more like the workouts that they're doing are no longer working for their body for some specific reason. So it's this eating less, doing more, trying harder energy. And let's be honest, even I can fall into this sometimes because it was hounded into us by society. Like you heard it over and over. It's just eat less, exercise more, eat less, exercise more, do more, do more. And really that is on the surface, it looks like discipline, but underneath your body can actually start to perceive that and read that as a stress signal. And so even healthy habits that you are doing, your body could potentially perceive that as stress depending on hormonal status, a lot, sleep, other stress levels, etc. And this is a really, really important thing because again, there's I'm doing all the things and it's not working. And so the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. And so you really need to peel back and really start to evaluate some of these things. And so leptin is a hormone that helps your brain understand how much energy your body has available. So essentially, it's your body's way of asking, are we safe to use energy or do we need to conserve it?